Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tousi TV, your global news channel. I'm Tousi, and we have some breaking news coming from London. It's been an interesting couple of hours. I was warned not to go to North London earlier on as there was a protest. We did get some information that the police were going to be problematic. Luckily, well, I can't even say luckily now, we have our Tousi TV reporter Nyak, almost the banana man, who's always ready to go to the battlefield. He has been arrested. We've also had the attack by the police and restrictions on new media and independent reporters. Another friend of ours, Jack Hatfield, also had problems tonight. We're going to give you guys the latest coverage on this. There's a lot to show you. We're going to show you the videos from the protest. But at one point, I stopped getting the video reports from Nyak. And I didn't hear anything until we discovered from our friends and other new media colleagues that they've taken him away without telling us. First, I'm going to explain what's actually been happening. Bob Vylan, the anti-Jewish rapper, is in the capital tonight. He had a live performance near Kentish Town at the, I think, O2 Arena thing. Not the main O2 Arena, it's a smaller O2 venue. And you had, of course, the British patriots and the Jewish community coming out to protest against him. We also had the Islamists and the far left coming out in support of him. Things kicked off. The police have arrested at least 6 people so far. A pro-Palestinian, this guy, the ginger guy, a ginger jihadi, has been arrested for shouting death, death to the IDF. Let me just firstly show you the footage from that, and then we're going to start. Let's go. I'm going to explain what happened to Nyak. That's when he got arrested. We have a number of videos to show you the two-tier policing in this country, the way they treat this side when they arrest them, and the way they treat our side. We had one woman from the pro-Palestinian side who was arrested. They put him in a police van. They still allowed her to use her phone to film herself from inside the police van, when Nyak was not even allowed to make one simple phone call to me or anybody to let people know. They take his phone away. Jack Hatfield, another friend of ours, was also restricted. They pushed him away. They said, you can't be here. The whole thing is completely chaotic. Enough is enough. So this guy, the police had no other option but to arrest him because he was going around chanting death, death to the IDF. What do you think was going to happen? Even the Metropolitan Police had no other choice but to arrest this man. But I'm showing you this side first, to then show you the other side, to then see the problem. So he was taken. It's getting tiring now. They are making everything hard. They're making it difficult for us to do our job. Again, it's not just me, it's not just Nyak. It's also all the others. We've got lovely people like Emma Donwell, who goes out there, Louis Errington, Jack Hatfield, many others who take this risk to go out there to actually show you the truth about what's going on the ground, because the mainstream media don't want to do it. And this is how we're all being treated. Now, outside Kentish Town tube station, where protesters were gathering against the anti-Semitic rapper Bob Vylan, who was playing at the O2 venue. This is the first clip, first report from Jack. Then we'll show you. I think we're just receiving the video from Nyak's arrest, which I'll show you in a second. So it started fine. Everything was fine. And we've seen not one single evidence of violence from this side. The side that carry the St. George's flag, the Union flag, and the Israeli flag. Not one evidence over the last 2.5 years. 2 years or so, whatever it's been. But when the other side turn up, things change. But somehow this side, they tend to put them in a cage, Jew pens and whatever, right? The other side can do whatever they want. Now, earlier in the evening, the police issued Section 14. orders on the protests to basically force people to stay in one corner. Again, basically Jew pen. The police arrested a pro-Palestinian protester after she crossed over. This is the woman who, when they put her in a van, she was still allowed to use her phone. Let's go to the moment of arrest.
There's no point, okay? We're going to end up in the same place. There's no point.
Give us some speech, yeah, please. Come on, give us some speech. Take the mask off! Take the mask off!
Obviously covering their faces as usual, right? They're trying to control the narrative. It's getting harder now because there are more of us now. There are more of us on the ground. Even if I can't make it, even if Nyak is taken, even if Jack goes somewhere else, there are more of us. You can't do that anymore. Vile behavior. Anyway, so she's taken. This is when Nyak was still around. And in the next clip, we're going to show you the arrests from outside. A number of counter-protesters have also been arrested. Actual main protesters, the anti-Bob Dylan protesters. These are the supporters of Bob Dylan.
Right, so when we get your details, I can then release you and deal with it in slow time. If needed, invite you to a station interview later on. But without your details, I can't investigate this offence. This alleged offence, alright?
Alleged offence.
Alright, man, do you have any ID on you? Okay, what's your surname?
Okay, guys. Private privacy. She's given a...
Anyway, so that happened. And then we started getting more updates. Mark Burbuck, friend of Tousi TV, was arrested wearing a t-shirt that said, "Some people are Zionists, get over it." The police arrested Mark. Watch. Some people are Zionists, get over it. Shambolic night. Absolutely shambolic.
Well, they're saying I've breached section 14.
Section 14. My backside. Anyway.
Move out of the way. That officer has lost control. He's lost control. No, you lost control. He's nothing to do with stamping on my foot. Well done. Well done. I asked them if I could.
So Nyak is still there.
They wouldn't just let me. They just slammed me.
They didn't let him report it from this moment onwards. You can see him on the right hand side. That's him with the hat. Then they stopped him from reporting. Then they said, you have to go stand, you have to leave the area, you have to go stand on the other side. Which basically stops him from reporting. They basically banned him. They said, well, you can't do your job. Recently, we had to go to court. Nyak had to go to court. He had to take lawyers to fight against this. Nyak won the ruling. The judge said Nyak should be allowed to report from the protests. What is the point of going all the way to court in the United Kingdom, spend all that money on the lawyers, winning the trial? The judge took outside, defended Tousi TV. The police still ignore the ruling. What is the point? You know, those who say, well, at least if you have good judges, you know, the justice system will be on your side, then, you know, and that is the law of the country, the rule of the land. But fine. They don't care. All the money spent on lawyers, going to court, the judge defending Nyak and Tousi TV as our reporter, and still this. Now, there was I'm going to show you the situation with Nyak. This is where things obviously started to escalate. He was arrested down the road from Bob Dylan's concert in Kentish Town. There was, after they stopped him from reporting, the police said, well, we also have a new allegation, that somebody from the pro-Palestinian side randomly made, even though Nyak wasn't on that side, that you pushed into somebody's hand. You touched someone's hand. Oh, it's very haram. It's very haram. Of course they are targeting him. let's go to the moment of Nyak's arrest.
He's making an allegation. He's making to take the report.
I said
He
if
doesn't
you-
lose his
if you don't
opportunity.
wanna- I said
12 times about it's not for a mystical bond.
I said if you don't wanna- This is no, I said nothing. I told you.
So you won't take his report.
He got assaulted and he'd be arrested. Yeah,
Shame on you.
Shame on you. Shame on you. He just said it.
Look at the state of the police officers. What do you expect?
You won't take his report. Shame on you. I'm going to sorry. Shame on you. Little two-tier. Two-tier.
Why are you being arrested, mate?
Further offences.
And then they take his phone. That's why they told me not to go tonight. That's why I decided to stay away, because I knew they were gonna ban us anyway. Nyak still decided to go.
That's all, actually. You sleep well at night, do you?
Why do you need to arrest him?
Because they are targeting you.
Why do you need to arrest him?
Pussy, shame on you.
Gonna get your reaction soon, by the way. Now, as I said, it wasn't just Nyak, so that's when they took him to the van. It's not about just Tousi TV. Jack Hadfield also reported, earlier this evening, a Met police sergeant forced me to move to the other side of the road from the pro-Palestinian protesters after one of them grabbed my ID lanyard and demanded that I leave just for filming them and not saying a word. Do we not have freedom of press in Britain? They are treating not just Nyak, but also Jack Hadfield, who's one of the nicest, harmless human beings I've ever met, as some sort of agitator or a protester for some reason. Let's go to Jack.
I'm outside the O2 Kentish Forum here in Camden, where behind me supporters of Bob Dylan are out on the streets supporting the act who is playing at the Kentish Forum this evening, which is said just behind me over this direction. And the rain is lashing down. Behind me on the other side we have two people going against Bob Dylan, of course trying to death the IDF at Glastonbury, and told people who wanted their country back to fuck off, basically, and put it in unpolite terms. Earlier, when I was on the other side of the street getting some footage, I was confronted by police who told me that they could identify me as a real journalist, etc. So therefore, I have had to be moved on. So since early this evening, I've been stuck on the pro-Israel side of the protests. Again, you don't need official accreditations to be a journalist in this country legally, but police will still move you on regardless. I did not want to risk being arrested this evening. I'd rather get the content, and there was far enough content to get on this side of the road, as long as the other side of the road, which is where most of the arrests have been taking place. There's going to be more arrest footage coming, multiple arrests, both on the Israeli and Bob Dylan side this evening. So we'll keep you updated. Again, the rain's been lashing down, so I've got my umbrella. But yeah, so I'm out here in all weathers getting you the content.
They are coming for new media. That's the point. Now, we have another angle from Nyak's arrest that I'm going to explain the bigger problem.
Targeting. Just pushing somebody's hand from my front of my camera.
Okay,
Nyak's been arrested now, everyone.
again, he just is.
He gave details as well, didn't he? He gave his details as well.
Now, can I get some reaction? Because big shout out to the brilliant Louis Arrington, who also at times report for Tousi TV, but of course he has his own channel as well. So make sure to check out Louis Arrington for basically being there and filming all the arrests, a number of people who have been arrested. While we do that, I'm gonna get some reaction. But don't forget, by the way, the fight continues. They are terrified of how all of us, the power that we have, new media, independent reporters. The BBC is dying, as you guys know, and we've been celebrating the death of the BBC, especially as we're getting closer to Friday. That's the deadline when President Trump is going to be suing the BBC for $1 billion. And in order to celebrate that, this is a special week. So, of course, we're giving you guys a 50% discount for Tousi TV Plus annual memberships if you use the promo code RIPBBC. Yes, rest in peace. Go on tousi.tv or just find the link in the description down below where you can find it, obviously. And yeah, so 50% off. This is the best way to actually fight back if you want to support our small independent team, but also you get something out of it. You get access to our full streaming service with the documentaries, interviews, chat forum, podcasts, and everything else that we have. So get something out of it. That's the best way to support us. Much cheaper than the TV license. Anyway, let me get some reaction from the live chat while we're here. Jack Hadfield is in the chat saying, thanks for posting my clips, Maya. Yes, absolutely. And of course, Jack had his handle. Jack had his... Go follow him on X because obviously he does great reporting, regardless of what the police says, regardless of what certain people in the media establishment say that Jack Hadfield is not a real journalist. He is a real journalist. He doesn't even say anything. He doesn't even go to provoke anybody. He doesn't even actually express opinions when he's doing his actual reporting. If you want his opinion, you can ask him. He will tell you what he thinks about certain things. But if he's doing his job as a reporter, he's doing it. So obviously Jack is always there as well. Now, Vinny, Super Chat says, two-tier policing, I have experienced it myself. Yeah, Vinny King, who's also a good freedom fighter. Keep up the good work, Vinny, but he has dealt with this nonsense. The thing is that one thing is the two-tier policing. The other thing is what we're talking about here tonight, which is, and Jack mentioned, is that this is an attack on a free press and free media. It's absolutely embarrassing that this is what we have to keep talking about in the 21st century in Britain. Now, I would like the same rights for all sides, even if Owen Jones and his friends want to go out there with their small YouTube channel, or Femi, the Remainer, they should be allowed to do it. Of course they should be allowed to do it. They shouldn't be sent to this side or that side. I don't want Owen Jones to be forced to go to the left-wing protester side. If he wants to come and have a conversation, let him have a conversation. If he wants to come to report, let him report. Ivan says they are out to get the new media. Yeah, but they're just making these people more famous. I mean, Jack himself has been on GB News and other channels. You know, we had a couple of them who are now getting more recognition. Emma Donwell. Emma is actually getting more recognition now. But the more she's out there and the more she's actually reporting the truth, even though the police at times making it difficult for her to do her job, and the other side intimidate her or try to basically target her or threaten her, she's still out there. Let's not forget, she's very young. Most of these guys are either late teens or early 20s. They're not all old farts like me. So a lot of them are in their 20s. Be grateful that you have these talents in the country, in the West. Is there not a way to sue the cops? This is the problem. We just had a court case. Nyak Orbani went and the judge took his side, saying that we can confirm Nyak, who's now in the van, the police van, smiling like a crazy idiot, still smiling. Nyak is a Tousi TV reporter. Even when the judge rules in our favor, the police the next day, next week, next month can easily ignore it. We just took them to court. We win, and same thing happens. What do you expect? Do it again? They're going to spend more money on lawyers, send them to take them to court, win again, repeat the same thing, so that we just spend more money. Like Nyak is going around and fighting for his right to be able to be out there is not allowed. Illegal immigrants who come into the country, I mean, like they have more rights. Nyak came into the country legally, but the illegal immigrants. Anyway, thank you, Helen, someone, for your support. See that £10 super chat? You could use that to join Tousi TV Plus, so you could get something out of it. See, but use the promo code RIPBBC to get 50% off. Anyway, Nina, what's Nina saying? Most of the police are Islamists. I don't think that's even the biggest problem, but I'll explain why. We have no chance. That Bob Villain should not have been allowed. So the problem with the policing is that I've had a lot of conversations with officers. At times, some of them would, off the record, privately, if they're your friend, they would explain that, well, even if we want to, we can't, right? We're powerless. Suddenly they're powerless. But sometimes some of the individual police officers take too much liberty of the powers that they don't even have. So that's one excuse. Secondly, so at times we could make an argument that it's actually the top. The order that comes from the top is a problem. It's a political command. But on the other hand, there is a level of disconnect between the police as an institution, as part of the authorities, and ordinary people, which is quite fascinating. It's the way they are very cautious anyway. They always say they're very cautious, they're very scared. That's why they don't want to do this, they don't want to do that. But you see, at least unintentionally, at least at times, unintentionally, their biases. One of the women who was arrested from the pro-Palestinian side was allowed to sit in the police van, use her phone, take a video from inside the van. Since when was that allowed to happen? This is the whole problem. And I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I'm being nice, but as you know, I'm always nice, right? Anyway, Stu says they are targeting independent media because the BBC are taking a kicking, but they wouldn't if you were signed up to be Ofcom's butt monkeys. I like butt monkeys. Yeah, I would rather die in a ditch. Evan says Nyak now has his own cell. I think they're gonna have to name one of the cells in the police stations, at one of the wings of the jail, after his name, so that he could actually have his own exclusive suite, like, you know, just some sort of a special VIP. You know, give him something at least. All right, trying to join Tousi TV on discount since the last 50% offer. Error code not working. I sent emails, no reply to them. Can someone help? Double check. Make sure you're clicking on annual, because a lot of people do this. They go on the monthly sign up page and they try to put their coupon code on the monthly form. That doesn't work. It's for annual. But also it's for new members. If you're already a member, obviously it's not going to work. If your email account is already linked to the system, it's not going to work. The best way, if you want to take it now, I shouldn't say this because then my team are going to kill me, is to just use a different email. To just use the new discount. That's the best way. But don't do it. It's very naughty. I'm not advocating for that. It's off the record, right? Now, he hasn't been released yet. So the moment I hear from Mr. Banana Man, I will keep you guys posted. I was just wondering what happened. He was sending me videos, and then the whole thing just kicked off, and I stopped hearing from him. And the next thing is people said he's been arrested again. I can't keep count, because I think the last time I asked him how many times he'd been arrested, what was it, like 15? Like within like less than 2 years? He's been arrested more by the Metropolitan Police in London than by the Morality Police in Iran. You need a good legal team for all of you to see, won't stop. Well, we have the best legal team, don't worry guys. We have the best legal team, and that's why we keep winning. And obviously, as you guys know, we don't do fundraising on this channel. I don't believe in that sort of stuff. You know, luckily we have a successful business and we have a good app. Download the app, and a good streaming service, so we won't have to do fundraising when we get into trouble. So that's the app. Make sure to download it. Also, obviously, I give a shout out to Jack Hadfield. Also, check out Louis Errington's YouTube channel. He's also an amazing independent reporter, and he's been doing a great job over the last few years. Whereas Tousi, you are the boss. You cannot get into trouble. Yes, I can't, because I am trouble. Allegedly. Someone said you didn't even do anything. Literally, I should just put down a t-shirt, just walk around London. My Tousi did nothing wrong. And in this case, it wasn't even me. It was Nyak. How many times? And also last week, was it last week? Time flies. Last week in Birmingham, I had a choice. I could have, well, if I was that sort of person, but I didn't want to be that person, I could have gotten myself arrested. And some people do want to get arrested. Not Nyak, by the way. I'm not talking about Nyak. Some other people always want to get arrested to get some attention. But if I wanted to, the video I showed you, but actually you saw it on the live stream last week in Birmingham, from the Palestinian protests, the police were saying, I'm the problem because I'm breaching the peace by just reporting, right? They dragged me to the corner, which was in a dark area of some sort of random green space park thing. And the pro-Palestinians, the pro-Palis were coming in with their masks, and they were standing near me, and the police were going to leave me alone, right? Just leave me there. Apparently I was safer there, right? But if I had an option to just stand there and say, I'm not moving, I'm reporting, right? The police would have used the powers to arrest me. Because people say, stand your ground. Yeah, standing your ground means that you're going to be arrested anyway. So I wouldn't be able to do a live stream. So I had that option, but I'm not that sort of person to get my 10 minutes attention. Oh, my Tousi got arrested again. I've been there. We've seen that before. Seen that show. But I decided not to do it because I wanted to continue the reports. I moved, although then I didn't listen to the police because the next advice was stupid. Stay in this dark alleyway with the Islamists who are masking up, and then you're fine. You're not breaching the peace. Yeah, they would have touched me like a 9-year-old from Saudi Arabia. Get it? Now, obviously, we will continue what we do. And all the people I named as well. I now feel bad because I've mentioned these names that they're now going to be targeted more. I did have a story there when we went to Birmingham. There's this weird woman, pro-Palestinian one, who's obsessed with Louis Arrington. Louis, again, also is lovely, like Jack. These people are like nice. Also, what is this new breed of independent reporters who are just nice people? We used to be like vicious. Actually agitators. But they're nice. Louis doesn't actually talk about politics. He just films. He just reports, right? The last one I showed you was from Louis. Because Nyak is not there to do his job now. He's in the cell eating banana. And there is this woman who keeps following Louis around as if Louis Arrington is some sort of far-right agitator. So odd. Yeah, they all fancy us. Because we're all beautiful. They all have a crush on us. Anyway. TC says, I can't wait to see how the mainstream media report this. Well, let me do the test for you guys. Let's be grown-ups here, right? I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to go on BBC News. Nothing on the homepage. Let's go on, because there are categories, right? Let's go on politics. Nothing on BBC. Let's go to Sky News. Sky are better at reporting, usually. Nothing by Sky News. Nothing. Absolutely nothing being reported by these weirdos. But it's fine. The mainstream media, the BBC, they're dead because we are the media. That's why we're giving you guys another 50% discount. Special limited offer is only happening now. Go take advantage. Use the promo code RIP BBC. Also, when you do it, you have to chant RIP BBC. Go to Tousi.tv. We have released our new original series on Tousi TV Plus called Why Poland Works. I think that's a given, self-descriptive. It's why Poland is a good country in Europe. And we have our, obviously, Israel documentary, October the 7th, coming out soon. The trailer is already up on Tousi TV Plus. You can check it out. But also an anti-family agenda. We plan to go to Venezuela. We also plan to go to South Africa to do a documentary about the white farmers. There's a couple of other projects that we are going to be doing as well on Tousi TV Plus, but without your support, we won't be able to do it. So of course, make sure to go on Tousi.tv. But once you do that, because you can only use the promo code on the website, then download the app and use the login details. What is going on here? There's what? Why are people spreading fake news about Joe Rogan being dead? What is this nonsense? Of all things to lie about, it's not even like funny or interesting. It's maybe made me look to see if Joe Rogan is dead or not. Yeah, he's not dead. Stop the nonsense. Okay. Kamal says, if the UK and Canada stop sharing intel, so will Australia and New Zealand. No, because they are irrelevant to the problem we're talking about. So Canada and the UK are, it's not just a Five Eye thing. Canada and the UK are located near the Caribbean. And they have been sharing intel with the US over the cartel, but not necessarily Australia or New Zealand on this issue. Anyway, so that is going on. Also, I am very proud of our new head of marketing, Sarah Raviani, because you know what she did? I told her yesterday, I said, the BBC is going down. President Trump is suing the BBC. Sarah, do something. And she came up with this, the most insane meme, which has now been shared on social media. This is so good. It's Marco Rubio telling President Trump, "Sir, they are saying the BBC is out and Tousi TV Plus is in. Use the code RIPBBC for 50% off annual memberships." If we keep up this level of banter, I think we will be fine. But I think at some point we're gonna run out of humor as things get darker. Actually, no, things get darker, we get funnier. So, because that's usually how we do things. If things get peaceful and stable, there's absolutely no humor. What should we do? We can't do humor. All right, so I was waiting to see if I could hear from Nyak, but no, I think he's still eating his banana and taking a nap in his cell. But we'll keep you guys posted on that as usual. This is getting tiring. Make sure to check out the other live streams that we have done throughout today and subscribe to the channel. I'm Maya Tousi, and we are the media.